So here we are back in After Effects. As you can see, I have decided to use Kazandi Blade Master here. I went ahead and brought him in and aligned everything correctly. The next thing I like to do is I'll go down here and grab my health indicator layers, the two right here. Well, actually just grab one at a time, but I'll grab one of them. Go to my effects, do my animation presets, transition movements. Now I use the swoop, so what I like to do is start at 15 seconds in, or 15 frames in, which is half a second, and I'll drop a swoop effect onto here. I'll drop it on each of those, and what that does, it adds the effect to where it comes in that you see. And I go in and I'll go 15 frames from its last frame, or 5 frames from its last frame. I use page down to do that. Then I make each of these fade in, and I'll do a 1 second fade in. So I'm setting the keyframe from 0 to 100% opacity. So those fade in after this comes in. That's how I animate that. And then the last thing I'll do, I'm not going to show you right now, but the last thing I do is I'll animate these, the number here, to change whenever life totals actually change. But that's the last step I do. The next thing I like to do is I have to get all my images here in their correct positions. So the first thing I do is grab all of them and scale them down. I know I use 60% scale. And then move them over. And then I'll go through and I will see which one belongs where. Like this has had a free blade, so it's going to belong on the right side. And all mine, they're supposed to be on the left side, will already be there. So I'll go in here and use Control-C to copy my transform. That way, like that one's mine. This is his. So I'll paste the transform and it moves it over there. And so like, remember how in Premiere they were overlaying images? What's going on here? Like that's overlaying over top of that one. But if I move it over to here, then it's not on top of it, because you can see how they're both overlaid right here on the timeline. So I go through and just put each of these where they belong. It's mine, 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 his, Into the Royal is his, House Paladin is his, Skeleton Tarn and Mirror Angel. Now what I like to do here is there's a couple of these overlaying, and what I'll do is I'll take whatever order they're put in, and the second one over to the right. Because see, these are both supposed to be up at the same time, so I'll move it over like that. So now you see I've got Mirror Angel and that's on his side, so it doesn't really matter. So once everything is in place, next thing I have to do, and this I have to do for every image, is I have to do my animate in and my animate out. So I'll start out with the free blade. I go to get into the clip right here. I use a 3D swing, so I just put it on there. As I scroll through it, you'll see how it animates in. It's a built-in effect. And you'll do that. I'll do that for every single image, and then after I'm done with that, I'll go to the end of every image and I animate them out. And to do that, I just use a couple keyframes that I do a second apart, and I made it fade out from 100% to 0%. So over 1 second makes it fade out. Now, something I'd like to point out, should have done in Premiere, is that whenever I bring in my images in Premiere, I have it preset to where it comes in for 5-second intervals, I believe. Let's see, 8 to 13. Yeah, 12-second intervals. I'm looking over here, if you're wondering. All my images come in at 5 seconds, so everything's consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how I animate the life totals here.